Dwayne here, PhoenixTypewriter.com. Going to remove this ribbon frame assembly so we can replace this stud here that broke off. This one's good, but the only way to replace that stud is to remove the whole frame and replace the stud, but we're just going to replace the frame with the stud. Okay, so let's start on this. Let's take the correction ribbon off here and close this up. First things first, I guess, right here to see clip on top of the ribbon spool here. Take both these pieces off. There's a couple springs we got to remove. Here's one of them. This one's a special spring. It's got a short regular end on this side and a long extension on this side. So it's got a little extension there. That's going to go into this little piece right here, which we'll put on. That'll be one of the last things we put on. This piece here has a tendency to flop out of place, but we'll manipulate that on when we get to it. Next thing is just bring this tucked in down here, right here. That connects to a small arm beneath here, and I'm just going to take it off like that. It's pretty easy to put on. You can see, get some light and see in there where it connects. That is for the ribbon lift. So now there's no spring action here. You can see the piece moving down here. Okay, next thing is to just remove two screws right here and the one that's right in there, which you can get to right here, just like this. It should be pretty tight. Okay, so take this one out. That's a special screw. It's got a little extension. This one is just a standard screw. Okay. First things first is going to be this side here. There's a correction lift assembly right here, and it's got these little forks that connect to this little stud, which looks like it's got a stud assembly on there like that, right there, and a little fork arm that goes in there. So we're gonna manipulate that out of. Well, first, yeah, I guess get ahead of myself. This should lift up out of here. And the only other thing we got to watch out for is this correction arm, this wire right here. It kind of gets in the way of things. I see another factor. There's a piece right here that you can manipulate with your finger like this, and that moves this out of place. So do that. It gets it by that easy. Lift this up. Kind of just jiggle it up a little. Shouldn't have to force anything too much. And once we get it up, kind of pull toward you a little bit. So get this arm is catching on the card guide. There we go. Up towards you. Hanging up on something here. Okay, just kind of keep manipulating it, and then this piece will rock out of place right there. And the same way when it goes in, it's going to go in at an angle like that, and then kind of back down the same way, just like that. I think what was hanging up was this arm here. You got to pull the carrier that way to get this arm out of position. The other thing we got to worry about is this little piece here. It's got to be flipped up. We can do that later too, but that's about it. There's the connection point for the spring that goes through the carrier, and that just does the arms here. So if we were to replace this stud, you'd have to remove all this stuff here and replace the stud. But we're just gonna put this back on another piece. Trickiest part of this whole thing, I think, is getting this arm, this ribbon drive arm right here. It's got to be up here in this position. If it's down there, it's not in the right place. It has to be up here, kind of level here, and that's got to be above this platform right here. So that arm's going to want to go on top of this piece. It's really on this side. And when you install it, it wants to be down like this. Then you have to, we're going to pull it back. We're going to pull it back and lift that arm up into position and then let it back in there like that. So that's the trickiest part, is this arm right here, getting this manipulated into position. So let's do it. Let's put it back on. So we have our new carrier with complete parts. This little gizmo just kind of spins around, and this little gizmo here actually fits into this little roller assembly right here, right there, fits in that slot right there, and this piece moves side to side there. So that's got to go back into place too, and of course this arm's got to come up. And let's give this a shot, and this piece here, it's got to be in about that position when we're done, but we can adjust, tinker with that. We start putting this back together. Okay, let's give this a shot. So first thing we're going to do is manipulate this little fork into that little stud assembly right there. It's just like that. And then we can go ahead and just kind of set this down, and right now it actually it's sitting in position, sort of. You can see the holes line up, and it's sitting flat right there. We got to do two things. We got to flip this. Well, let's not do this yet. That has to go like that, but we're gonna loosen it anyhow. Let's look at getting that fork or that ribbon drive gear back into place. So I know right now it's not in place. In fact, you can probably see it right down in there. Right below there, you can still see it underneath the carrier. That's not where it belongs. So when it's down there, you know it's not in the right place. I can see the little fork of it, that little pointy tip right there. So what we got to do is get it up on top of that piece. What I'm going to do here is we're going to find it here with the spring hook. I'm going to pull this back a little ways and try to grab it. So I got it, I think, right there. I can feel it. And then we're going to pull this carrier frame. And it's kind of catching on this wire back here. But I think we can just flex this out a little bit. It wants to pull that wire. But we can do that and grab that piece. Manipulate this all the way around like this and see if I can get a better angle at this. I'm not sure the camera's going to catch this. Okay, so I see the arm right there. I'm going to manipulate this back. If I go far enough and to the side or up or something, and get that to fall into place here. Quite want to make it. It's a little not a lot of clearance in here. Okay, might have to come up. There's not an easy way to do this. Alright, let's see. I wonder if I can maybe half cycle this. So unplug the machine, hit a letter, turn it on, hit a letter, and let's turn this carrier. It's going to move. It's going to move this cam. If we go half a cycle, half a turn, it's going to move that out of the back a little bit, give us a little more clearance to get to that arm. So let's see if I can get that arm. It's right there. There, it just went right into place when I did that. So let's look underneath and make sure it's not hanging down there. Nope, it's good. And the next thing to do is we can manipulate this this little piece right here. It's got to be, lift this up a little bit and get this little rocker piece up where it belongs, right there. Then next thing is this forky thing right here. It's got to go through that little grab that other piece. Just got it right there. Now this piece needs to be on the other side. This piece needs to be on the other side of that piece. Like I said, just manipulate this back like that, and that's in place. And knock the forky thing out of place right here. So let's push this back and pull it back toward you and push it forward and manipulate that into place. I think probably should have finished the doesn't want to go into place here. There it goes. There it goes. Just have to manipulate it. Okay, this piece is in place here. And it looks like this piece is still, no, this piece is out of place. So this little gizmo here has got to be, okay, this little this little piece has to be on top of this white gear, and you just have to manipulate it. Okay, I'm gonna have to push this, there we go, like that right there, and push this piece back like that. Okay, those pieces are right there, and it should be able to let's check everything else. It's still in the fork up here. That's right. This looks right back here. The wire assembly is all good. This piece is good right here, and it should just about line up with that hole. It's right there, and with the other hole. So that's it. It's sitting flat. Sitting flat. It's got a little bit of movement around. Everything is in place. This piece is in place. This piece is in place. Let's put these screws back in here and lock the carrier down a little bit. Lock the ribbon frame down. And let's put this one back in. Shouldn't really have to force anything. Eventually it will fall into place. Okay, so that's back in order. First spring to put on is this guy here. through that hole and just connect it. Well, let's leave that on the side. We're going to connect this one down here first. This is your ribbon lift spring. So this one is right down here somewhere. Get a flashlight and see what I'm doing down here. Okay, got it. Connect right there. We're going to connect this one right there. Just like that. I think it's all up and running. So this piece is right. We should be able to turn this on and type right now and see if things are moving. So I put a little black dot on here, and up here this should all be turning when you type. Looks good. This piece is in place. Correction is in place. Okay, she's back. And all we're going to do is put this piece back on. It's got a little secondary piece that goes in there like that. That spring part right there, but that just goes down in there. Move this arm out of the way, it'll drop back down. C-clip on here. Top there. Just like that. Okay. Should be up and running at this point. Okay. Try this guy. Everything's right. This should be nice and even right here, like that. And it looks good. All right. I think we got it. Phoenix Typewriter. Good day.